Okay, just also want to do a video on my first day on Doordash. I'm sure you've seen other videos. This is not your first video, but it was a little bit frustrating for me. Like, especially the first order. The first order, actually, I had to have an employee at the store help me. He was nice and like, oh, I can figure out where you're going. I'm like, where am I going? The app, it's kind of confusing at first. Some things you should be aware of, like you're gonna get notifications like crazy. And there's a lot of things that can confuse you your first day. Like, I mean, you get all this stuff thrown. I mean, it's easy. I mean, it's an easy job, kind of. But just like you're dealing with the new system and things that I think people should be aware of. One, notifications. Expect to get a lot of notifications. Um, and also your first order. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things on the app that you're going to need to do. Like, one, you got to accept the order, go to the store, mark that you arrived at the store, mark that you picked up the order. My problem was the directions. I mean, just because I wasn't familiar with the app, I probably should have watched a video. I mean, watched a lot of videos, but they don't show you actually how to work the app and get directions. So it's like, well, it tells me the customer, but like I think you had to switch screens to get to the directions or something. So that was the hardest thing. And my first order was actually like today was my third day, and the first order was like might have been my worst because like I think I was at the right house by maps, and but like I called the customer, and like the customer's like, "Oh, follow my directions." I'm like, "Well, you can't use Google Maps," and I think Google Maps was right, but the customer ended up getting frustrated, and then I was like, "Okay, well, I'll figure it out. You don't want to piss off the customer." So it turned out like it was kind of like a mobile home park. I mean, it was a nice one, but like one of the people in the neighborhood actually helped me find it, and it's kind of ironic. But I was like, I think my first order was like the worst. But I mean, I think I did okay. I think I made like $7 or $8, or maybe seven or something. But yeah, I think it was $7 my first order. So, and I got lucky. I don't think they like she rated me. I mean, she was frustrated, but oh well. Thanks to the helper, I was able to find the address. I probably would have been better off not even calling the lady, but I just wanted you guys to know that, and like right after you like mark you pick up the order, you're pretty much. I mean, as long as you're in a busy area, which I only work busy times, you're pretty much guaranteed. Like it almost seems like every single time I get another order popping up, and I'm not doing stacking. I don't think I'll ever do stacking. I think I'll make another separate video on stacking orders and why I don't do them, but especially the next video that I plan to make is how I became a top DoorDasher after my first day on the DoorDash. I think a lot of that was I wasn't doing stacking, especially your first day. I would not do stacking your first day. Maybe some of you are gonna want to do that later, but or if you're doing other apps, like I would. I mean, if you're doing Uber Eats or something, you're probably familiar with the system, but if it's your first day, I would just do DoorDash your first day. Like even if it's only for an hour, like your first few deliveries. So and not only do one order at a time. I think it makes it easier, and the customers aren't going to get frustrated with you. But yeah, I just want to be aware of the app can be a little confusing for your very first order. So I think people should be aware of that. But that's pretty self-explanatory. Um, I was kind of had an advantage. I was able to see that it was busy. I mean, that was kind of nice. And then I was finally able to work, and I knew it was going to be busy. So it was nice to have your first day be a good one where it's a busy time period. So, I mean, maybe you want to wait for a busy time period, which you might have to, especially if you're new. But it was kind of nice because being a new driver, you're not able to schedule. So, like, well, who knows when I'll be able to schedule? But because it was busy that my first day, I mean, I could have worked that whole day, and then pretty much every day since then, it's been busy. But I think that's most of the things. I'm going to be giving a lot more advice in future videos, like my next video, like how I became a top dasher on my first day, after my first day. All right, catch you later. Feel free to like and subscribe as well, or comment.